Hello, this is Vincere from shoutcaststrategy.com, bringing you my second replay. This time I am spawning as the red Protoss in the upper right hand corner, and my opponent is SNSD Fanboy, the blue Zerg in the bottom left hand corner. I'm going to try to take some of the criticism I received about my last video and implement it into this one in my commentary. Last time I was told I was talking too much, and by that I mean I was saying, well, I just built a probe and sent it to the mineral line, which everyone can clearly see, and there's absolutely no reason for me to say everything. I assume the people that are watching this videos aren't blind, and I don't need to do a blow-by-blow commentary of this, and instead I can just give you some of my inside thoughts and some of my analysis. One thing I need to learn to do is how to do a cool follow camera on this probe, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. Should be some button here on the keyboard that does not work. I'll just follow it manually and maybe with my keypad and make it a little smoother. Not really. I send this probe into scout, and I like sending an early scout against Zerg so I can see if they are going for some type of early rush. One thing I wasn't very good at was having a good sense of timing, and I moved this probe out right before he threw down a spawning pool, and I don't see that spawning pool, so I think he might be going in an early expansion, and I leave this probe down here. If I had done another circle or two of his hatchery, I could have seen when that the spawning pool had gone down about 12, and that he was probably going to send some lings my way and maybe expand it a little bit later after he's scouted with his lings, really. Instead I have this probe down here dancing, and even though the probe does look kind of crazy, it's not really doing me any good. As you can see, he is now sending a drone to scout me, and he will see that I am currently building a zealot. And here's kind of another mistake. I saw he wasn't going early pool, and I go ahead and throw up the gateway before the cyber core. Just a mistake. Bad strategy on my point. Not sure why I did it. He does see that I am going dual gateway, so he knows that he might be expecting a 2-gate rush. However, I'm not rushing this game. I'm just cranking out some zealots to help defend myself against an early ling rush, which he doesn't do. If I was worried about a ling rush, I could have just chrono boosted out of one gateway. I also have a bad habit of this game particularly of queuing up my units. I should be at 300 minerals right now instead of just 200, because I don't need to start building that zealot until this one's about done. Instead I queue up and just waste some resources. Another bad thing of mine this game is that you can see I still haven't thrown up a cyber core yet, and I'm wasting the resources right here because I was Psylocked for a little bit. I guess that wasn't too bad, but I should be throwing up a cyber core right now, and I'm a little late on it. And the reason it didn't go up earlier was because I wanted my cyber core back here, and that's why I had to wait for this pylon to get up. I really should have thrown one down here. There's no reason not to. It's just something I prefer not to do as a player. Here's what I'm talking about. He comes up with 6 lings and sees that I have 3 zealots out. I'm still cranking out the zealots, and I have absolutely no reason, especially now. I've seen that he's come up in my base with 6 lings. 4 zealots absolutely destroy 6 lings, so no reason for me to do that. A little bit of back and forth there, but nothing major. And I'm still cranking out zealots. I'm going to get 6 zealots out, which is just way too many. That's 600 resources. That could have gone to much better uses, such as another gateway, another 2 gateways, gotten a 4-gate out. Instead, I keep this 2-gate out, and and probably an earlier geyser would have helped me a lot. Something I didn't mention a little bit earlier is I was really late on this gas, as I'm sure many of you noticed, and I'm extremely late on my second gas. And because of that, this game ends up being very bad for me because I constantly panic that I don't have enough gas and I don't spend my resources my minerals well enough. As you can see, as I'm talking right now, I do have 360, 380, 390, 400. I could throw up an expansion right now if I wanted, however I don't. Now here he comes with the roaches, which was very good by him, because all I have are zealots, and roaches are so strong against zealots, because as you can see, they'll sit here and kite my zealots back and forth, and I kind of chase them off, and ooh, what the hell was that? Pausing for a second. Alright, let's hope I can edit that out, and Sorry about that, I just kicked my keyboard to the floor. I do get my stalker out finally, which turns this battle a little bit into my favor. However, you're going to see me screw up my micro here, and I'll point out exactly why in a second. Well, there that stalker goes back, and just then you can see my hotkey going up for my Nexus. Now I am chrono boosting my stalkers out, and I have stalkers queued up, and I really need to not do that so much. There's no reason for me to tie up so many resources. I should have been back in my base building up more gateways. Instead, I'm just sitting here doing nothing. I could have thrown up some pylons. I even could have probably come out and expanded right now. I just pushed back his attack. He's not coming with anything immediately soon. However, my sense of timing back when I played this game was absolutely terrible, and I didn't really know what to expect. I should have seen all those roaches and known that once I pushed those back, he wasn't going to be coming with another huge force of roaches. As you can see, I'm throwing up a robotics facility to take care of the roaches even some more. I think this might be slight overkill going for a full stalker immortal army, but I'm just so afraid he's just doing nothing but massing roaches. Now, this is even worse for me because what I don't end up doing is building an observer out of the Strobos facilities. And that's just so terrible. Such a stupid thing not to do. Because here I'm afraid of mass roaches. And what's one of the biggest things roaches have? Burrow. And so I'm not going to build an observer because I'm afraid of mass roaches and I want to get immortals out fast? That's just stupid. Not only would the observer accomplish scouting, but it would also let me see his roaches if they burrow. And burrowed roaches are great. Now here you can see he's coming with roaches, so I do have this nice stalker army sitting here and with some decent micro and that immortal coming out, and I probably should go ahead and chrono boost it. I do have the energy. This fight will go fine. If I would micro, which apparently I won't, and that's just not very smart of me yet again. As you can see, I'm still ridiculously high on the resources. I've got these warp gates and they can currently warp units in. Unfortunately, because I don't have it hotkeyed, I'm not paying attention to the corner of my screen that shows me that my warp gates are ready. I'm just not doing it. Well, here he does get chased off by my stalkers, because stalkers are so nice. One thing I'm also... oops, accidentally spacebar. One thing I'm also terrible about doing is holding alt, and if I was holding alt, I would have seen this roach at such low health, and would have shot it instead of deciding to snipe an overlord. Now, again, holding alt, I would have seen this, I would have shot it, sniped it. Those roaches do so much damage, and just killing it would have been so nice. Instead, I run away, shoot some zerglings. However, I should be running, shooting much faster than I am right now. There's way too much of a gap. And I'm not sure why. I guess I underestimated how fast stalkers fire. Really not sure. Now here I do take out his little bit of ground army. As you can see, I'm